we're gonna start with the second half of this amazing day. It's been really nice to hear all the humanities in the morning, and now we are shifting to the medical field. So here you can see a bit of the outline of the afternoon. So we're gonna have a roundtable at first, then 2 talks about Francesco's Seal of Excellence and also my project, and then a guest lecture from Michel Timbudescotten. So please stay until the end, where then we're gonna have an open discussion. I just want to take a few seconds to show you the results of the poll. So in all the participants of these days, only the 22% knows about what is a Marie Curie fellowship, and even less, 20%, the Seal of Excellence, and then just 14% that the University of Parma is actually promoting a boot camp to let people try and apply to this amazing fellowship. So now we can start around the table, where we will try to show you actually what is a Marie Curie program and answer to all these questions. With this, I would like to introduce our prorector for the research, Valeria, and he will help us in moderating this section.
Grazie. Thank you. So, because there's been a change of audience with respect to this morning, I will also say a couple of words like I did this morning for par condicio, as they say in Latin. I have to thank Adele, Valeria, Lia, and Francesco for the decision they took to organize this day. Someone asked me, is this coming from the top or from the bottom? And bottom is not a nice word, but it came from the bottom. So it was their idea to organize this event and to showcase what they're doing, involving people from all over the world, involving their supervisors, and also explaining what Marie Curie fellowships are, what the Seal of Excellence means, and what the bootcamp is, which is actually one of the good examples of how we try to improve our research. So thank you. I think it's really useful. I'm asking, is this also, so the sharing works, this is also broadcasted, and there's someone connected from home, because this morning when we started, it was not working. So also welcome to the people connected from home. So what they asked me when they involved me from the beginning is to chair a little roundtable. We did this same thing this morning with similar questions, but because I don't think a lot of people were here this morning, we're going to start again. And the first question is addressed to Francesco, in this case, and it's pretty easy. It's, what is a Marie Curie action, actually? What is the fellowship that you can win through an MSCA action?
So the Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship is actually the Europe Union's flagship funding program for the researchers that holds a PhD. So you can only participate if you have a PhD. And historically, it has been designed to basically fund a researcher that can demonstrate, to show the potential, basically, to be leadership in their own field of research. And for this reason, the program actually forces you to go out of the country, of your own institution. And I think it's the biggest upside of the whole project, because it will force you to learn new skills that you can never learn in your own institution.
And how come you're here and you're Italian? Why are you here? Why are you in Italy right despite the fact that you're Italian?
First of all, I went abroad and I learned these skills, and now maybe a little bit of patriotism also is involved, it can be said. I want to establish these skills and this research project.
But it tells a lot about, if you want to do research, just in case, I don't know the people here, but even people at home or whoever will see this because we're recording it, if you want to do research, a little time abroad maybe not just a little, but a little more than a little, is kind of needed. Even just to get out of your comfort zone, when everybody speaks your language, when everybody does your things your way, and it's always challenging, and you, however it goes, you always come back stronger than you were. So the second question is also, kind of introductory, and it's for Adele Valeria, and it's the meaning of Seal of Excellence. So what does it mean?
The Seal of Excellence is a kind of quality certificate that certifies that important projects submitted under Horizon Europe's call for proposal are submitted, obviously, but not were funded due to limitations of the budget, but they are excellent because an international commission of experts in the field evaluated the project, and for this project expressed their an excellent opinion, so worthy to be funded. But I repeat, due to the limitations of the budget, these projects shift to another part. It's important that the applicants and the holders of this seal, in this case we, applied for another funding scheme. In this case we applied thanks to the call of our Ministry of Italy and the so-called MUR, Ministry of University and Research, and there is a minimum of a score to receive this seal of excellence. The minimum is of 85 points on 100. That's it, yeah.
So basically, sometimes, not always, for example, during this last round of MSc A fellowships, the applicants were so many and the Seal of Excellence were attributed to so many projects that the ministry, I mean, it doesn't look, the ministry will fund second chances like in this case, but it's a nice strategy because the message is, even if you don't get to win, if you don't win the fellowship, there's always a second chance if you score good. So if you wrote a very nice, an excellent project, that can actually get some money to do research for 3 years in a university, and you can use it wherever you want, and this kind of prepares you to the future, and there will be questions about the future. Okay, so another question for Leah in this case, and I would change the structure of the question. Is it really a seal of excellence? I mean, do you feel that this recognition, this literal stamp on your shoulder, helped you somehow? Was it useful for your research and in terms of recognition in the scientific community?
Yes, I think that helps. It definitely helps. Maybe not in my shoulder, but on my CV. It's really nice to have this recognition, and also really practically it opens like new avenues as the opportunity to apply to the next generation EU fundings here in Italy. And actually, if you receive a high score, it means that your preparation as a researcher is okay. So you are ready to propose a new project. People believe in what you are proposing, what is your vision. And this is really important to secure fundings and to build up your CV. Indeed, it's really important to say that we won like 250K euros, and now we want to apply to some grants that are even bigger. I'm looking to the ERC that is over 1 million. And so there is a saying in research that the grant call grants. So it's important to start somewhere, and the Seal of Excellence, even if you didn't receive the Marie Curie, it's a first step, and then we receive this grant, and then we hope that we're gonna receive also others. We are working on it. So it definitely helped.
Thank you. That's really nice. I mean, music to my ears, knowing that there's a lot of people that is still hungry for grants, okay? If we check the faculty of our university, there's a decent proportion of them that regularly applies and they don't get discouraged by failure. I mean, science is also failure, but there's also a fraction of people that really don't apply. Research, maybe their research is not so expensive. Maybe they can actually run it without a lot of money, but applying for grants gives you a lot of new opportunities, to travel, to move to other places, to involve young collaborators in your research. So it's something we need to do, considering that the national funding is not going to be, it's not going to run dry. Apparently, we're getting national funding a little better during the next 3 to 4 years, based on the plan. But we need to keep applying for international funding for sure. And I'm going to go back to Francesco, and the question can be summarized in what happened and what's next.
So actually it's connected also to the first question that you asked me. So after these years abroad,
Si sente?
Prova?
Yeah.
After these 2-3 years abroad, basically I was able to learn these new skills, and I also had the time, of course, to formulate my own hypotheses, my own research ideas. And so from the moment I came back to Parma, just like Leah, I started applying for different grants in this quest of funding my independent research. And as I'm going to show in the presentation, actually, I've already applied to different grants.
And you will keep doing so.
And I will keep doing it, of course.
That's great, thank you. I'm going to go back to Adele, Valeria, and if it was what's next for Francesco, in your case it's more, how did you get here? So what are the steps? Because
Can I answer very quickly with many steps and little steps? What I mean with this, that I'm applied many times for researching funding under Horizon. My first time was for an Horizon research funding, for European Holocaust research infrastructure in 2018. I remember that period with pleasure, because for me it was the first time to conduct my research, international research about a burning topic. I conducted research on the Holocaust, the denial of the Holocaust, digital anti-Semitism, not in Italy, but in London, in Europe. And what saved me in that case was the working with other scholars, other experts, and with archivists, the staff of the library, and they helped me to conduct that research. It was short, just 1 month, but intensive, and it helped me to have an international mind. Work outside your home, from your home, but within other experts sharing your topics. So this is the first step. Then I applied for Emery Skłodowska-Curie Fellowship Global in 2023. I received the first Seal of Excellence. Then I applied again before the application delivered by the Moore. And I received another Seal of Excellence, never funding from directly, but it was great because in this period I received great instructions from the Unipiere boot camp. It was a great experience with Dr. Silvia Tavernini and her team, and they explained me and other scholars what to write a project, where to be clear is the key. Write the project many times on the same subject, and this is very, very paramount, if I can say in English, very paramount.
Thank you. Actually, writing research projects, it's becoming a bit of an art. You need to express the ideas, but also knowing that the evaluators are not going to be exactly super expert in your tiny subfield, so you need to make everybody understand, even people that obviously has a scientific mind and approach, but they don't know exactly what you're talking about. So it's really tricky. And well, we're actually also doing some, and now we're discussing a few minutes ago, with the use of artificial intelligence, this is becoming even more complicated, even for evaluators, because the quality of the product is always very high. So you need to evaluate the idea and the credibility and the innovative steps that anyway, so this is another topic. Sorry, I have one last question for Leah. It's not a question, it's actually, I'm proposing you to, tell us what you do in terms of promotion of research, but also try and promote research with the people sitting here in the audience, because the truth is that if you do research and you're happy and you think it's the best job in the world, do you think it's the best job?
Yes,
yeah?
This is why I'm doing
then it's your duty to try and convince the others that that's the best job in the world, okay?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Okay. So for me, I can say, for me, I'm doing research because I think it's one of the few jobs that make you free. So the freedom of thinking, create, build up on your ideas. Of course, you need to be also concrete, so your idea needs to be feasible. You cannot live in the fantasy world, but it's really beautiful that is also has different layers. So as a researcher, I do a lot of computational work. I'm not just in front of a computer. I talk with students, I travel, I confront with other people. When I'm on the train, I'm thinking about new ideas, and then I write a grant. And so this is beautiful. I mean, usually in other jobs, you just have to do a task, and that is your task. Here you can invent your task. You can vision a future that is not here, but it could be. Like in the hospital, they will use your algorithm in the future, and people can be treated, and maybe they live a better life. So the impact of your vision is huge, and you should have that vision, that impact. Otherwise, for me, it's not worth it, the game.
Oh, I have been there, thinking about new ideas in research. Unfortunately, I gave it up for this new job. Yes, it's true. But I will be back. It's interesting what you said, that the impact. So don't think that research, even basic research, like some of the research carried out by these people, doesn't have an impact. There's always an impact, even for people in the STEM areas of science. I participated this morning to what Adele Valeria did, and also the colleagues that she invited over. And of course, it's very far from what I do, but in particular during these days and this period of history, I think it was very clear that knowing what happened in the past and knowing how things happened in the past is very useful to understand what is happening now, and maybe even how to drive it to a better place in the future. And it's the same in a different context when it comes to what you will hear from Francesco and Leah. So there's always an impact. And I'm going to close with this. I bought the other day, I was in London just last weekend, and in a flea market I found a nice lapel pin, the pin you put on the jacket, like this one, that says, it's a very clear message. There's a researcher with a microscope and some bugs around, and it says, let's find a cure for stupid people, okay? I'm gonna change the stupid people, because I don't like that, to ignorance. And I think what you're doing and what we are doing in the university and every researcher is trying to find a cure to stupidity and ignorance. And please keep doing that. So I'll now leave the floor after this roundtable to the next speakers, and can you coordinate this?
Thank you, Professor Del Rio.